Amon, master bloodbender and master fighter, training and bending all his life to defeat the Avatar. He has the final showdown with her and... But then, he escapes with his brother on a boat to live the rest of his life in peace. So, did Legend of Korra Season 4 fix all of its mistakes? No. So here it is, the finale of the series. I hope you're excited. Before I start this video, I thought I'd address this feature. Aang was not consistently wise. He's a 12-year-old kid. He constantly let his anger get the better of him. When he attacked the sandbenders, and also when he went into the Avatar state out of rage when he found out Monk Gyatso, his airbending teacher and good friend, was killed by the Fire Nation. Now, I talked about the Red Lotus in the last episode, but I never talked about Zahir individually. I have a major problem with Zahir. It sounds simple, but trust me, when you notice it, you can never hear it differently again. I haven't heard anyone else mention this problem though, so maybe it's just me. To me, a big problem is Zahir's voice. He sounds like a 17-year-old. Or like an English teacher who is annoyed at his student but has to keep calm. No offense to the voice actor, but Jesus, is it very noticeable. I'm sure the voice actor tried as hard as he could, it's just the voice he gave Zahir does not fit at all. Anyway, enough about his voice. To talk about Zahir is to talk about the undeniable impact he's made to the Avatar franchise. He affected Korra physically and especially mentally. Zahir helped prevent the next villain of the week feeling most TV shows with alternating villains get. Korra genuinely had a struggle with getting over the trauma, and that's the kind of stuff that works really well. Actually, speaking of Korra trauma, oh, that rhymed. Now, I've heard a lot of people say this is their favourite Avatar episode. So here's my honest review of it. It's sorta good, I guess. I definitely like the Avatar hallucination, especially when it sinks into the Mercury, and the Toph introduction is quite nice. So they just play all his crimes, manipulation, as a joke? Doesn't that just ruin everything Legend of Korra has built up? You know, having all their villains have a motivation, and then proving why their ideals were wrong, or at least they tried to do that. But Barrack is just a joke? I mean, he's done some horrible things, but nah, funny kid show! I mean, The Last Airbender had a lower age rating, but they still dealt with serious stuff better, even with more constraints. His relationship with Zhu Li doesn't necessarily feel forced, but it doesn't make much sense either. I really like Toph's new voice actor. She simultaneously sounds like young Toph in her delivery of her lines, but she sounds aged. She has gone through a lot in her life. Though it's really dumb that Toph didn't straight away pull out the metal from Korra's body. But I guess you could counter that argument by saying Toph just wanted to toss her around with earthbending, but still. Kuvira. Oh, what an interesting subject. They tried to make her have a redemption arc, but she's literally putting people into concentration camps. How are we meant to sympathise with that? How are we meant to sympathise with that at the end? The hell? Like, who thought of this? Like, come on. I do like how Kuvira was in Season 3, more in the background, so in rewatch, or if you already heard about Kira, it makes it seem more clever. As I said in the previous video, the way she fights looks like dancing, and I like that. It makes her have more of a unique feel. Now I wanted to ask this question. Hey, Resource! Michael here. Is Kuvira like Korra? Is Bolin right?
I mean, Kuvira is basically just like Korra. She might seem hard to deal with, but it's just because she's so passionate and believes in what she's doing.
Yes, they are both compassionate people. But I think Bolin was meant to say there's just to have conflict between the two brothers. I don't think the writers meant much by it. I just realised I never fully talked about Bolin, have I? Well, now's the time, I guess. Personally, I think Season 4 trashes his character a bit. Yes, Bolin can be a bit dumb, naive even. But he's not so dumb he would believe such propaganda. I mean, he fought against Amon. Amon used propaganda as his main weapon. And you're gonna tell me he still fell for it? One of the dumbest things is, Macko, in Season 4 Episode 3, when he tells the Earth King's prince that he's going crazy and he's done nothing good for the Earth Kingdom, a guy who's been raised with privilege his whole life, just accepts it instantly. That would never, ever, ever happen in real life.
What did Amon want? Equality for all. Unalaq, he brought back the spirits. And Zahir believed in freedom.
I guess.
Okay, but Unalaq wasn't really in it to free the spirits. He was doing it for selfish reasons. He wanted to emerge with Vachu and become the Dark Avatar. I swear, sometimes it feels like this show doesn't know its own law.
Wait a minute. Cranky? Old? Blind? You must be Toph!
That might be my favourite scene. And they leave Toph. It's very bittersweet, though they don't make any Toph blind jokes. Those were the best part. Oh wait, that's not her final episode. Well, that's awkward. In her actual final episode, I absolutely love how Kuvira instantly backs down when Toph threatens her. It gives a sense of how powerful and influential Toph actually is. Now, before I move on to the conclusion, the fact that the intro is showing all the different elements has all the avatars to represent the elements is really clever, and a nice touch to people who know about all these extra avatars. So wow, this has been my most successful series so far of this channel. And now it has to end. In the words of Rusty Cage, it's been a good run, and a lot of fun. God, I remember recording the first episode of this, I was so goddamn nervous. And for some reason when I'm nervous recording videos, I become very monotone. I've learned a lot about making YouTube videos just from this series actually. And as for the Legend of Korra part of the conclusion, Legend of Korra is a deeply flawed TV show that had great promise. I feel like the creators, Michael and Brian, wanted to go for a far more grown-up audience this time. But I think they failed in two key areas. Number one, The Last Airbender already appealed to audiences of all ages. Number two, in trying to make all the villains have realistic ideologies, they sometimes lost sight of, well, the villains. It lost all its charm. A big part of The Last Airbender, in my opinion, is hope. Making your own hope in tragedy. This had none of that. It's just, yeah. Anyway, I am finally done. Please, please, please subscribe to me. But mostly my editor, because she actually put like 99% of the work. She probably will disagree with me on that. She always does. She always says I do more work. But still, please subscribe to my editor, Lisa, and subscribe to me, because I put too many hours into this. Send help. I'm not even kidding. This conclusion alone took 4 hours to write. Anyway, thank you for watching this series. It really helps if you subscribe, because a lot of my views aren't subscribed. Alright, bye.
Dust on this tired old street. More corners where we used to play. Dust trace our tired old feet. In circles as we pace our time away.
I finally finished it! I'm quitting YouTube! No, I'm joking.